said, I was just like, that's right.
Let's start on this side here.
Just make her happy.
Hi, I was wondering what your favorite episode to make was, and my sister wants me to say, if you can say, hi, Jed and Lucy.
Favorite episode, and hi to Jed and Lacey.
Lucy.
Jed and Lucy.
Hi, Jed and Lucy. It worked.
We're doing almost 1,500 episodes, which is crazy to think about. It's hard to pinpoint just one, but you may have seen on our social media that we're asking you guys to vote on your favorite episodes, and we're actually putting the power back in your hands of what's your favorite episode for this year. So I don't think we've announced this to anyone, but we have an idea at the end of the year. We're doing like a year-end countdown of your favorite episodes. It's really hard to say what our favorite is because they all run together in a good way. It's like, so it's hard to pinpoint one.
For me, I think it was Post Malone.
Oh yeah?
I felt that's the coolest I've ever felt.
Yeah.
My kids thought I was cool for like 24 hours. It was awesome.
I mean, meeting Weird Al.
They listened to me.
So Weird Al was probably one of my favorites.
Okay, over here.
Hello, gentlemen.
Howdy.
What is the one episode that your wife begged you not to go through with?
Well, as part of our strategy, we don't tell them.
We don't tell them before or after. Sometimes they find out. Sometimes they don't.
See if they find out.
I think it's Ear Biscuits is becoming more of an issue because that's when we're like, just off the top of our heads, like just talking about our life experiences.
Especially an upcoming episode.
Most of that has to do with them and the family. So I noticed that Christy has started, I haven't told you this, she started listening to our podcast more religiously. I'm like, why are you listening to our podcast all of a sudden? It's like, oh, I know why, because we're inadvertently dishing dirt about our wives. That's just my way of trying to get you to listen to Ear Biscuits. But that's how it works.
Hi there, my name's Jazz, and sorry this question's a little more for Rhett. I love you, Link, but I'm just I'm just really curious as to what inspired the characters of Richard and Danielle. I find them super interesting.
Well, it's a great question. I would like to begin my answer by.
Well, if I recall, who got to wear that was the winner of the game,
Yes.
right? Which I usually win.
That's very fair.
But
You gotta get my attention.
It was just like, I gotta put this stupid dog on my head. And then I was like, I'll act like, you're in a relationship and somebody gets pregnant. And you're pretty much tied for life. You got this kid.
Then you have to take turns suckling the baby.
Right, yes.
And then, of course, you're fighting over who gets to suckle the baby. And I just wanted to see how suckle the baby looks in sign language. Suckle the baby. Thank you guys for being here, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Suckle the baby.
Over here.
Hi, I was wondering what your retirement plan is.
Retirement plan? Well, we're going to adopt a skinless snow leopard. And we're going to suckle it until we die.
Are you asking for our stock portfolio?
Honestly, just thinking about entertainment, it seems like a legitimate career now, but I feel like all careers have to have an end point. And I was wondering what your plan is for that. Does mythical entertainment get carried on to somebody else?
Well, we've already established we'll still be making the show in 2058. So.
Yeah.
No, that's a great question. I mean, I do think that we are always we're always trying new stuff. There's a lot of stuff we're working on right now that all of it besides GMM and this tour, so we can't talk about yet. We will be able to talk about it soon. But I think for us, there's a lot of things that we've yet to do, a lot of things creatively that we want to accomplish. And it's really difficult to know how long that's going to take and how that's going to look. So for us personally, creatively, there's a lot that we want to do. And then we are trying to figure out how to have a media company in this internet landscape. Definitely, that's something that we're trying to figure out every day. Something that is bigger than just the two of us, that still maintains mythicality in the way that we want to. So we don't know yet. Kind of like what we said in the book, we don't really think a lot about destinations. We just kind of continue in this direction. But I mean, at some point we won't work as hard as we do now. I know that is a fact, but we will for now.
Cool, thank you.
Over here.
Hi, my name is Wiley, and just want to say that you guys are basically my favorite YouTubers.
Thank you. Thank you, Wiley. That's our favorite question so far.
Next question.
My real question is, what was your favorite music video or skit to make?
Music video. I thought that the one where we wrote a song called Naked for Buddy System. I thought that was going to be funny until Rhett was running around set naked. That became a jungle nightmare. You've seen it. It's like, where is he going to pop up next?
I enjoyed it. Felt like Adam.
I have a few, but actually, the Harry Potter song is one of my favorite. We wrote that when the last Harry Potter movie came out. I wasn't that big of a fan until my daughter came along, so like I'm very late to the game. But I've always been fond of that song because of the way that it used a passionate fan's vlog word for word, and we turned that into a song. So check it out. It's still relevant all these years later.
Thank you.
Hey, so we were wondering, with all the crazy things that you do, how do you overcome this fear of judgment by everyone that's watching you?
Ooh, good
Just
question.
yourself, be as weird as you, man.
Because I know that there's a lot of teenagers in the audience, and I certainly face this too, that get a lot of judgment from people at school when they're trying to be themselves, and how do you just overcome that?
Well, first of all, that's a great question, because I think that I assume, and I can tell that the heart behind it is that you kind of know who you are and how you want to express yourself. And it's a very dangerous thing when people start to alter who they are based on the reactions that they're getting from people. That leads to more misery than having to endure knuckleheads judging you. And I guess my advice is find people who know and love the true you, and people you can entrust with the true you, and then listen to them for feedback as you continue to grow as a person, because we're all growing and we need feedback, but not from everybody. Let the YouTube comments be a lesson in that, but it applies in real life too, right? You have the power to choose not to listen to people, and then the challenge is finding people worth listening to. And so we wish you the best on that. We know sometimes that's not easy, but even if that's one person, then that can make all the difference. So if you don't have that, it's focusing on that and not focusing on the people that aren't helping you and aren't a positive impact in your life.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Jack, and I would like to know, how long does it take to actually make a good Mythical Morning video?
It's a good question. It depends a lot on the nature of the episode. So sometimes it's about as long as it feels just watching it. Or as long as it looks, as long as it is, meaning that there was basically no edits. And then sometimes we decide to test in a very scientific manner bicycle helmets. And that takes all afternoon. Like I don't know how many people have seen that episode, but I had to use a sword. And so, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we would have just gotten a sword, and then I would have just sorted. But, we have things like insurance, and we're more of an official...
An understanding of the concept of death or maiming.
Yes. And so we had like a sword expert, and he gave me the sword tutorial. And it was like,
he's here tonight, Gary, everybody. Sworder extraordinaire.
Thank you.
And I had to sit there he's like, thank you, I'm done, I don't care.
All right, that's it, next question.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
You get
all
the
I
idea.
did. I'm really good with a sword, that's what I was getting at. You should stick around.
Hey, have your kids ever complained to you that their friends or their teachers are talking about you? Like, oh, my teacher was watching a video in class or something.
Our kids' teachers have not shown videos of us in their classes, even though we know that happens around the world. But yeah, sometimes we run into issues where it's like, all right, our kids start to pick up on, are you trying to be friends with me because you're a fan of my dad, or because you just want to be my friend? And that's something they have been very astute at figuring out and choosing their friends, to my point earlier. But yeah, so we're in a weird situation where that does happen. And we want our kids to be liked and loved and appreciated for who they are and not for who their dads are.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's difficult.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, my name's Daniel, and I just wanted to know what you think of Cotton Candy Randy.
I think that Link and I sort of represent the spectrum that is then reflected in the fan base. I love it.
I don't hate him enough to tell him he can't come around.
You know that I'm a little dark, and the fact that so many of you hate him makes me love him so much. And anytime I see people legitimately get upset that we created him, and that he keeps coming back, it just creates this...
I think he's here.
Oh, no, I know where he's at. You're not him. It just makes me feel warm.
But hey, don't eat too much candy, because he'll come whisper sweet nothings in your ear tonight. Next question.
Welcome, gentlemen. It's not that cold outside. Would you guys rather drink a moth milkshake out of the mouth? They did it. A moth milkshake out of the mouth of a member of the majority of the House, or a member of the majority of the Senate?
I don't know.
Just the Canadian House, the Canadian House, the Canadian Senate. Is that called the Parliament?
Yes. No, this is a contextually American question.
Oh, it's an American question.
Okay.
Well, you did have the moth milkshake.
Can I plead the fifth?
Are you an American?
That would keep it American. No.
Sorry, you can't ask that question.
I think it would be great if the majority of the House and the majority of the Senate could learn how to enjoy a moth milkshake together.
Hi, my name is Zachary, and I would just like to ask her why you hate cats so much.
Have you spent any time with a cat?
Yes, I love them.
Next question.
Hi there. You're way more three-dimensional in real life. So my question is, if you could go back to any point in your life and give yourself any advice, would you say to yourself? Or each other? This is about to go down.
I would go back to 9th grade and I would say, dude, don't be afraid to ride on Jana Howard's four-wheeler.
Here's the thing, I told you that then. I tried to pump you up, man. You said you were going over to her house. I was like, she's gonna ask you to ride the four-wheeler. You know what that means.
No, three-wheelers aren't safe. What does one more wheel do? Is it enough? I don't know.
It adds a little stability. Just enough. I'll never know. You know, seriously, I think we talked about this on Ear Biscuit at one point, but I would be afraid that we would screw something up. You know, we took this very circuitous path to where we're at right now. Typically, you don't go into and get an engineering degree to become a comedian. That's not the typical path. So we got to this place where we're living our dream and creating things and being able to be in a room with you guys. So I would just go and like stand behind a bush and just watch. Lincoln Jana Howard.
By the way, have you guys had Tim Hortons yet?
Oh, Tim Hortons, yes. Yeah, that was, wasn't that your first stop? Somebody got you some coffee from there.
No, I was going to, but then I had to take a four-wheeler to get there. Next question.
Hi, my name is Ben. I have a question for myself as well as some of my friends, like another 16 hours north of here if you drove.
You have a question for yourself?
On behalf of myself, I'm sorry.
Okay. Because I was really looking forward to that.
I talk to myself often enough, just ask my brother. So roughly a year ago, first of all, my favorite episode that I show people to get them interested in your show is the Carolina Reaper episode. So about a year ago, we came to know this new pepper called the Dragon Breath pepper, and we ate that once, and it's supposed to be spicier, and we sent it to you, and I want to know, first of all, if you ever got it, or how your reaction was when you actually did notice what it was.
You can guess where it is.
I ate it.
You know, the last experience that we had was just not pleasant. The last pepper experience. And I think we actually went down in Scoville units when we did the Trinidad Scorpion. And it was just like, it was so hot that I forgot how to be entertaining. It just took it right out of me. And so at this point, we're like, you know what? We've done that. We're not going back. We're not going back to that well. Unless we really, really lose a lot of subscribers. Then we'll do it.